What's up, guys? Been a hell of a week here for me, outside of the YouTube space, but also inside the YouTube space. Yesterday, I had the biggest show of my life. I'm a public performer when it comes to I'm a musician and I'm a public performer, and I had the biggest gig of my life yesterday, and it was really, really great. And then I got extremely sick, like an hour after it finished. So all day today, I've just been miserable, but I'm feeling better now. And I open up my YouTube page, and lo and behold, the video that I posted 3-4 days ago about Invincible Season 3 has hit over almost 500 views, which is crazy. It's awesome. The biggest videos that I've had so far hit around 50 to 60. So for this Invincible video to just pop off and hit so well, it is really, really special and really means a lot. So I want to split this video into two halves. I want to spend... actually, no, I changed my mind. I'll make two separate videos to really milk the views out of you guys. So today, we'll talk about Severance again, which is funny because my Severance video probably it has done the worst of my last 4 videos. Well, we're going to talk about it again because Severance is really special to me, and we just finished Season 2 today, and wow, it was really, really good. Sorry if I still sound a little sick. Forgive me. But Severance Season 2 was really, really good. Really good. So let's talk in a little bit of specifics. Again, there's going to be some spoilers here. I can't contain myself. So let's get to it. Severance Season 2, it takes place not exactly immediately after Season 1, but it takes... I'm trying to remember because I watched Season 1 and 2 back to back up until I think episodes 7 or 8. I only had to wait for episodes 9 and 10. The episode... Okay, we'll start with some negatives. Negative 1... That's really the only negative I have about the show, period, is the episode with Miss Cabal. Just the half episode where it's just spent around grandma and following her, and she goes to her old place. I'll say it was the one episode that I was just really not into. It was really slow and boring, and Severance is known for their the slow build, and I love the slow build, but that slow build was just really not the kind of slow build I was interested in. But then I think that was episode 8, and then episode 9 and 10 were probably some of the best episodes we've had. I especially want to talk about episode 10 because that's what's really fresh in my mind. In episode 10, you have Mark having a conversation with his innie and outie, and I think it was very, very well done. I love the shots and almost the desperation of the outie Mark, and the just pure confusion and fear of innie Mark. Really good, really good. And then just the slow decay of everything. These innies they're so ready to get out of there at any cost, and they do. And this episode probably has my favorite scene, my new favorite scene in the whole show. The new dance scene where the orchestra comes in and they play the Kier theme through the orchestra. It was so good. There's so many good scenes in this episode. The scene where the Egan grandpa comes in and talks to Helly's innie, Helly's innie, and explains to her that he doesn't love the outie daughter because he doesn't see Kier in her anymore, but he sees Kier in the innie. That, I feel is a big setup that I really wonder where they're going to go with that. I imagine, a little mini theory, I imagine that the Cold Harbor is going to play into that, where I think that they're going to try and completely kill off the outie and replace it with the innies, so that way they can have like just full, complete slavery, really. And I think that that's going to tie into Helly and the dad, Egan, of where, they're going to have... He doesn't love his real daughter because she doesn't have Kier in her anymore, but the innie does, so he's going to get rid of the old one and try and have the Kier-filled daughter he always wished that he had. I really liked that scene. Any scenes with Miss Casey or Gemma, really, really good. Got to see more of the sister, that was good. I just think the whole thing was good. The whole thing was good. And I love, as I'm 18 years old, I'm almost 19 years old, I'm coming up on the days of getting jobs. I've had a job before. I feel like I work a good bit just as a guy who is a young man moving into my adult years. And, I really can appreciate the feeling that this show gives of trying to be an individual in a place where they really don't want any personality. And that kind of goes along with the whole show as a whole. And I guess we can talk about that a little more. The show gives off a very unsettling vibe, especially season 1. Not as much season 2 by design, but definitely a lot in this episode of where it's like the set pieces are extremely plain. It's very basic colors, 1 or 2 colors, very static lighting, where everything is super bright, and it's unsettling. It reminds me of the Stanley Parable, where it feels like you shouldn't be here. This place shouldn't exist. You're walking around this place where there's no sound, no people, no music, no nothing. It's like you're disturbing something peaceful. It's creepy, and I love that feeling. That feeling of there is a word that I forget what the word is, but you don't belong there. Your brain's not ready to handle it, and the whole episode or the whole show is just based around that idea, and is really, really well done. I think some of my favorite parts are when just the characters are I'm sorry. I think some of my favorite parts are when the characters are just sitting with themselves, not talking. They're it's just the silence. Maybe the hum of the lights and the clicking of the keyboard, and all you can really do is see the characters' thoughts through their facial expressions or through their movements in their hands or their bodies. The actors are phenomenal. All the actors are phenomenal, especially the main 4, I guess now main 3, with Mark, Dylan, Helly, and Irving. Mr. Milchick especially is really, really good. And in the latest episode, I really enjoyed Mr. Drummond. I didn't think that I would like him as much as I did, but I think you can really see it. With Mr. Drummond, it's this idea of this perfect man. He's big, he's well built, he's strong, silent. He's the representation of the big perfect man, and he's a psychopath. He's a murderer. He kills a lot, according to one of the lines from the goat mom. Maybe he only kills goats, doesn't kill people, but wouldn't be surprised with how quick he was to strangle Mark to death. It really goes to show these people in power. They're running the perfect ship, and the minute that something isn't the way that they want, they will literally snap your neck with a smile on their face. But when the gun is pointed at them, they're cowering in fear. It's, yeah, well, I'm sure most of us know all about that. That's very well done, very, very well executed. And I was a big fan of Mr. Drummond this season, especially when Mr. Milchick, steps up to Mr. Drummond. He asks him, dumb down your words. Don't apologize. Say you're sorry. And devour flatulence, or whatever he says. Mr. Drummond, it means eat shit. That was also one of my favorite scenes in the whole show. I keep saying, it was well done. It was very well executed. And I'm running out of ways to say it. I'm not some, overzealous, big hotshot reviewer. I'm just a guy rambling on a microphone. But I really watched this show on a whim. Like I had just finished watching like an episode of Invincible, and Amazon recommended Severance, and I think it was Amazon or whatever. So I got recommended Severance from somewhere, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll check it out. And I did, and I'm really, really glad that I did. I really never watch new shows unless I have a reason to, or someone tells me to. Which I want to, explore more shows just naturally on my own. But man, Severance has been such a treat to watch. Most of the shows and stuff that I watch are action-based. Even if I don't watch them for the action, they tend to be action shows. The Boys, Invincible, Daredevil, even Breaking Bad. They're shows that are more based around, the thrill, the excitement, the superhero stuff, the blood, and the big hitters. Severance is really one of those shows. There's really almost no action. It's a lot of tension, and I think that's something that really plays into it in a good way. I think tension is something that's really hard to build in shows and movies correctly, especially for long periods of time. But Severance is phenomenal at it. It does a phenomenal job at building tension in a way that feels natural. It feels good. You don't even necessarily know you're feeling tension until the tension is over and you're relaxed. And that's something I noticed while watching it, is there's just so much like moments where you're just on edge, like leaned forward in your chair, face 3 inches away from the screen, wondering, what the hell is going to happen. And it isn't until it actually happens when you even realize that you're that close to the screen. And very few shows have done that. It's so good. Severance really is up there among my favorite shows of all time. Up there with Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and Daredevil and all that. It's phenomenal. It's great. And in such a good time for shows, especially right now. Right now there's, at least for me personally, we have Invincible Season 3 just finished. Severance Season 2 just finished. Daredevil Born Again is halfway through its first season. All 3 of these great shows. There's so many good movies coming out. Minecraft movie comes out in like a week or two. We're real excited for that one. I'll be sure to go soon, and I can post my reaction or my thoughts when I get home from watching it with the guys. Yeah, it's gonna be great. So I'm really just enjoying all of the time that I'm spending on YouTube. That's another thing that haven't really talked in detail as much as I'd like to. Especially with Season 3 Invincible video hitting 500 views, which is crazy. Really was. I didn't expect it to hit as hard as it did. I was really happy when it hit 100 views. and then it hit 200, and I was just completely blown away, and I was really, really happy about it. And then, I turn off the screens or whatever, and I go take a nap because I was sick today, and I go sleep to recover a little bit. And I wake up a few hours later, and I look back, and it's at 350 views, and then it's at 400, and now we're almost at 500, and it's really, it's the stereotypical thing all YouTubers say that, I never thought we would get this far. I think it's disingenuous, It's not that I never thought that I would get this far. I'm sure, and I was pretty sure that if I kept up with YouTube, I eventually would hit 500 views, That's just, it's not that big of a number. Never thought that I'd hit it this soon, though. I really thought that it would take a lot longer for me to hit something, and this isn't viral by any means. It isn't a breakout success. 500 views is really nothing in the grand scheme of the internet. But would you think that 500 individual people stopped by to watch one man ramble about Invincible for 20 minutes? And one of the comments, I forgot who it was, one of the comments even said, they hadn't even watched Invincible. They don't even know what it's about, but they watched the video anyway. And I don't know what circumstances brought that person to my video, but it really means a lot to have someone who didn't even know the material of the video, but they stopped into this random guy's channel, and hey, that means a lot. And if that person, if you're watching this, leave a comment on this video or the next video or whatever. It'd be great to have you step in. That's really what I want out of YouTube. I could care less about the numbers or the money. I would love money, love a lot of money, but that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to to build a community. I want a group of people who are passionate about video games and passionate about TV and passionate about entertainment to come and discuss with me and with other people about the stuff that we like. And among that, we can all make some friends and grow a little bit and learn some things about each other and ourselves along the way. And that's something that's really special to me. And to have people step in and comment and do the other stuff like the liking and the subscribing and all that's really special to me. And I'm really glad that I'm able to have this journey with you guys. So yeah, I guess that's really about it. We're already hit about 18 minutes on the recording. To wrap it up, Severance Season 2, very, very good. Very, very good. 5 big booms. Costco guy approved. 5 big booms. And yeah, thank you to all the people who really helped blow up Invincible Season 3 video. It was really good to see, and it always hits a little boost of dopamine when I can refresh the page and there's still a few extra views added. Real nice, real nice. I hope to build this community as far as it'll possibly go. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you whenever I make another video. Bye-bye.